we're here today with Cameron and Morgan from TT Weigh, and they're going to be weighing our setup for us.
G'day guys, long time no see. Absolutely. How are we?
Good, absolutely.
Good, good. You excited?
Yes.
Hey, nice new setup. Looking, really excited to see what Bruder weighs. Morgan and I have seen a few of them in the flesh. Really keen to see what it, how it comes in at. You don't have a massive amount of payload in it, but it's not a big van and not massive amounts of storage. So excited to see where we're at today.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Cheers. Are we in low range? Remember that? Haha, see? You don't have as much room to play on these ones, Brent. Alright, so we've got to be, we've got to try and be better than the first time round, alright? No pressure, mate. You ready? Well done, first time. I reckon you're perfect, mate. That'll do us.
So we've just done the car.
They're just swapping over stuff and we'll do the van.
Yeah, and we're a little bit more concerned about this way. Our new van has an ATM of 1850 and we've made a few changes to norm the Troopy, so it'll be interesting to see how we go.
Yes.
Just put some chocks in just a second. So this is the most important number because everything hinges on ball weight. Because remember, it's not just kilo for kilo adding to your vehicle for GBM, 1.5 times on rear axle, and that's what gets everybody. I'll do you, mate. This is what I'm looking forward to. So usually with these single axles, obviously with your axle recessed a bit further back from centre, the ball weight tends to be a bit heavier. I'm really interested to see how this van, how the weights come in with the metrics and everything, because the top end of the market, what you pay for is a lot of their R&D and stuff behind the scenes and how they build the vans so they can carry the weight where you want to carry it. And we see that time and time again with cheaper vans that are just put together, slapped together, and people can't carry stuff where they intend to carry it. I'm really excited to see where this is going to be and to see how close that ball weight is to where we want it to be. So let's have a look. We know that your ATM, your limit at the moment anyway, is 1850. Got a very high axle group loading, 2800. So you've got a potential there to actually increase your payload of your van if you need to. But at the moment we've got a limit of 1850, so we'll see where you're at with that today. Remember that we're looking for that target at around 10%. Single axles like this, I'm happy if it's a little bit more. So even around the 11% mark's not an issue at all. So what do you reckon? Any idea, Morgs, what you reckon it might be? Couple of hundred kilos. All right, let's have a look. Oh, you would think he's done this before. Pretty close, mate.
208.5.
So let's put it all together again, see what the axle numbers are as well, and then see where we're at.
Yeah.
All right. Again, just take a couple of minutes to do your load summary. So we'll just list down everything you do and don't have in your setup today, just so when you're looking back on these reports later, it'll jog your memories what you had. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what, sorry?
I think we might be in trouble.
Check the lights. So, here's your Caravan handout.
Nice.
Car's on the other side. And I'm not sure if I had this last time, but you will also get from me today a tyre pressure handout as well. Yes. All right, so what I've done here is just summarised what everything on the side of your tyre means.
Yep.
There's a 3-digit number on your tyre that equates to a load rating. kilo load rating, and that's critical for determining what your correct pressure should be.
Yep.
All right, so then I run through a formula of the single and a dual axle Caravan of how you go about calculating your optimum pressure. So if you ever change your tyres in the future, you can refer back to this and the formula for how you go about calculating your correct pressures for your tyres. It's all effectively based on your load rating, your actual weight, all right, and the maximum pressure. We are going to put that all through our report for you.
Yep.
But yeah, just get that handout as well from us today. So let's just go through again just what everything means, all right, in plain English. So our Caravan, firstly, we've got our tear weight number, which is obviously our empty dry weight of our Bruder when it was manufactured.
Yep. Should
be with any options that initial owner ticked on that options list. That's what we were talking about, is the roof rack part of the van when it was built, etc, etc. We're not 100% sure, but what we're 100% on is that the tear weight is 1258 kilos according to Bruder's compliance plate. It's good that that's that odd number. That tends to
tell you that
illustrate that they actually weighed it to the kilo, which is really good. A lot of vans we see are 1200, 1300, and you know, it begs the question, doesn't it? All right, so the next one down in your list there is ATM, aggregate trailer mass, all right, and that just refers to your maximum loaded weight that your Bruder can be with everything packed in it, all right? So full of water in the tanks, full of gas in the bottles. All the other things that you've now bolted to your Bruder, those awnings, the wheel,
all of our clothes, all everything that goes
correct,
in it,
has to be within your ATM limit, and your ATM limit is 1850, all right? Now, when we weigh your van, just remember we've got to be unhitched from the car, which we are at the moment. And it's the addition of two weights, two weight points. One's down through the axles to the ground, and your other one's your toe ball mass at the front. All right, now your toe ball mass is limited, got to be under a certain number legally. All right, it's usually dictated to by your car. But it is important to just be aware that sometimes your Caravan can actually have a maximum permissible ball load number on the compliance plate. It's very rare. You probably only see it 1 in 100 ways that we do, but it does happen. So for your viewers out there that they're ever, buying vans, just check that, because we have seen some clients where the ball weight on the van's limited to say 280 and the car can carry 350, but they're limited to 280. All right, so just be aware of that. In your case, it's 350 with the Cruiser. Now, a gross trailer mass, if you remember, is the maximum load or maximum amount of weight that our Caravan can exude down through the axles to the ground when we hitch to the car. Now, interestingly, your Bruder does not have a GTM compliance number on the compliance plate. All right, now again, remember me talking initially around one of the problems in the industry is there's no regulation, so there's no set requirements, and we see this a lot, where technically there's no law about it. It's a good practice for caravan manufacturers to put it on, but there's no real legal requirement to do so. So some vans don't have it and yours doesn't, which technically means you don't have a legal compliance for gross trailer mass. All right, so in your case today, we've got two numbers to double check. One's our toe ball mass, and the other one, of course, is our aggregate trailer mass. We'll just touch on another thing that's not on my list here, and that's AGL. All right, now, AGL stands for axle group loading or axle group limits, and that refers to how much weight the caravan manufacturer deems that the caravan, its axles, suspension setup, etc. can carry. All right, so 2,800 kilos is the AGL figure that Bruder have got on the compliance plate. That's really important, because if you happen to be overweight in your ATM today, you do have the ability to potentially increase the payload of the van.
Do a GVM on the van.
Correct. Absolutely right. Up to, it's called ATM upgrade, but the same process. Up to that AGL figure potentially. And it will depend on the engineer, and every engineer is a little bit different, and what they're prepared to sign off on. Morgan and I weighed a van only a week or so ago, and even though technically the caravan could increase to a higher number, the engineer wasn't prepared to let it go that high for safety. So alrighty, so let's flip over. We'll just quickly go through the car side of things. Alrighty, so flip over the other side there, that's the one. Alright, so with our vehicle, brake towing capacity at the top, this is the one all the car salesmen carry on about. Refers to how much weight the Cruiser can tow behind it, 3.5 tonne. We're going to be well within that today, no issues at all. GVM, of course, gross vehicle mass, a maximum loaded weight that our vehicle can be with everything in it. All right, you've had the upgrade, of course, to your axle capacities.
Yep.
So 3780, it's been increased up from 3300. And the reason we do that a lot of the times is when we're towing. All right, when we're towing anything behind our tow vehicle, we've got to include that ball weight of whatever we're towing, that 200 kilos in your case. And that's why the vast majority of travellers consider GVM upgrades, just so they can carry that and not eat it into their payload of their car.
Of the car, that's right. Yep.
All right, we've got GCM down there. All right, the second last one at the bottom refers to your combined mass vehicle and whatever you're towing is your one rolling unit going down the road. What is that maximum weight? 6,800. All right, with the size of your van, we should be good on that. Our last one, of course, and not by any means least, our front and rear axle capacities for our car. Very, very important compliances. The rear axle in particular is the #1 compliance that caravanners go over. All right, so great thing about the Troopy is it's got the huge rear axle capacity of 2,300 and 1,480 on our front. All right, so how about we see where we are at in just a minute, and we'll go through our numbers. $5.5 for your car. Let's come out. Where are you? Yep. I reckon 5.05. So 10.55.
10.55.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
So 5 metres when we're booking into caravan parks.
Just a second, just check a couple of other little things here.
And try to read his face, he's not giving away much here.
I'm a master at it. I usually say, but wait on, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
Drag it out a little bit longer. All right.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please. So, here's our 3-page report. All right. So, page 1's your data page.
Yep.
All right. So, personal details at the top. All your compliance
Bits.
limits.
Yep.
Limits.
Yep.
For your Bruder. Tyre load ratings and capacities there, and the load summary of what we had in the Bruder when we weighed you today.
Yep.
Same drill with the vehicle. All right. So, compliance limits for the Troopy with your upgraded GVM. Tyre load ratings for the tyres that are on there, and all your load that was in there. Ran out of boxes.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
That's okay. All right, now here we go. This is the one I've been waiting to see, the Bruder. All right, so ATM, total weight of the van, you're allowed 1850.
yeah.
Is 1767. You're 83 kilos under. That's all really good. Really,
That's a
really good.
lot.
All right, so you've got quite a bit of room left in there. And remember, if you did want to go the way of an upgrade, you've got, you could add a lot more if you wanted to. But you've got 83 kilos, so you know we were talking off camera about potentially some jerrys.
Jerry
Yeah.
can hold us, yeah.
Absolutely no problem on that at all.
Yeah.
But adding them to the front,
Yeah.
we're already, you know, you're just under 12, which is pretty typical for these types of big single axles like this, you know. So it's 11.8, just a little bit outside our preferred 9 to 11 range.
Yeah,
But geez, I'd imagine it'd tow pretty well, sit really well behind the Cruiser. I would imagine you wouldn't know it's there. Not with it being 1800 kilos, and that sort of balance of ball weight is good. So 208 on the ball, as we said earlier. So 208 is a proportion to 1767. It's just under 12%.
Yep.
Your balance is really good on it as well. All right. So if we go up the top here to your big black numbers, are your corner weights.
Yep.
So you're 792.
Yep.
All right, on the passenger side, and you're 767. All right, on the driver's side, so just 25 kilos difference side to side. 25 kilo, I mean, you can just tell looking at it with the layout of and that.
Fridges on the
Fridges on that side, so
Yeah.
it might be a touch there, but I mean, that's negligible, absolutely negligible. So I will, just for your reporting purposes, put a GTM of 1850 in there, just so it doesn't look like a big red number. But there is no legal compliance for GTM, so we're not no worries there. All right, let's have a look at the car again, because you have made a few little changes to the car, and we'll see where the car is. And just remember, we give you with and without numbers.
Yep.
All right, just because if you remember, a lot of people go over that front axle when they're not towing,
Yeah.
and then we put it on at 1.5 times, and it goes over the rear.
That's right.
So without the van on, 3780 is your GVM upgrade.
Yep.
You're 3181. All right, so you've got 600 kilos, 599 to be exact. When you're not towing, you're 87 kilos under on your front axle when you're not towing, and a massive 512 under on your rear axle. So all good when you're not towing.
Yep.
When the van goes on with its ball weight, we're really good.
Oh, good.
All right, so you're obviously massively under your brake towing because you've got
a different size van.
Completely different van size. GVM 3389. So without the upgrade, you'd be over. So you need the upgrade. All right, so you've still got 391 in the vehicle now with the ball weight and all the things you've added to it. So a lovely, healthy number. You want to stock up and carry more gear in the back for the cape or whatever, absolutely no problem. Put a bit more stuff on top, do whatever you want to do there, no problem at all. So, you know, we're talking here about adding a couple of things to the van in strategic places. It might be more efficient or effective to try and put some of that in the car if you can. All right, or if you want to put it, I don't know, you want to carry a diesel jerry, which would be best on the front of the van. It might be a case of trying to move one or two things from the front of the van into the car if you can, just to balance that out.
Right.
All right. Front axle, obviously it releases when the Caravan goes on, so you're well under 187, and you've still got a massive 204 kilos under on your rear axle with the Caravan on.
Wow.
So absolutely, you are one of the 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Yes. Well and truly, you're completely green everywhere. So absolutely brilliant. Good numbers for the car, even with what you've done. So I know you were talking to me about a couple of little modifications you're going to do. No issues at all. The Bruder, I should say. You know, you've still got that 80 odd kilos there. You are full of water. Pretty much full of food. Full in the fridge.
And the Bruder car.
And you've added those infrastructure things on as well, so it's a good result.
That's not a bad result.
Right.
All right, so let's just go through some compliance and safety. All right, so underneath our Caravan section here on page 2, we just like to go through a few compliance and safety things that apply to your van. And some caravanners just aren't aware of some of these rules. We just like to go through them with you. So the first one is an ADR, an Australian design rule, ADR 43, and it's all to do with what's called rear overhang. All right, this is actually a legal compliance, and a lot of people run into issues when they put bikes and whatnot on the back of their Caravan. They actually encroach on this ADR. There's going to be absolutely no issues with your van. The reason, how we go about calculating and working this out is you measure from the middle of the hub on your single axle, or in between the two wheels on a dual, to your forward area of your Caravan, which does include factory toolboxes and whatnot put on the factory. So where your measurement is less than 3.7 metres, you take that actual measurement and then you turn it around, and you can't have anything protruding past that from the hub. And obviously with your wheels being recessed and you've got nothing at the back, no issues whatsoever. All right. Your second one, of course, are those lovely yellow stickers, yellow do not overtake stickers. First thing to note is they're not compulsory. You don't have to have one. All right, so if they're not compulsory, why do people put them on their vans? The answer to that is if your combined length is greater than 7.5 metres, so your vehicle and whatever you're towing, if you're greater than 7.5 metres, and as we just worked out, you're 10.5 in total. So if due to your length and you're turning into a driveway, into a street, around a roundabout, whatever, and you momentarily just need to go wide to make that turn, and you need to transition into 2 lanes, or momentarily, you know, go over to the second lane. If you don't have one of those stickers on the back of your van and you get into some sort of accident, someone scoots up the inside of you or whatever, you are technically in the wrong, because you're not allowed to be out there transitioning across the 2 lanes. All right. If you do have one of the stickers on, you are momentarily allowed to traverse 2 lanes, and the other road users have to give way to you. All right, because of your length. We call it, or one of my colleagues calls it, a butt covering sticker. I think that's a really good analogy. So, typical Australia though, you don't have to have one, but if you do, you've now got laws and rules. All right, so there's an Australian standard 4001.1. Under that standard, there's a whole heap of bullet points. 1 sticker only on the back of the van, got to be on the left hand side, got to be in a certain space. All right, so we'll go through that with you if you'd like one of those, like you did last time.
Yes, please.
The next one down on our list is another ADR, Australian Design Rule 61. All right, and this has come about because of speed cameras. Most new vans have to abide by the ADR when they're built, so they're usually okay. This is to do with the positioning of your number plate. So it can't be more, the centre of the plate can't be more than 1.3 metres from the ground, and must be lit at night. So tick tick there, no issues on where yours is. The bullet point under that is to do with visibility of your number plate. Now this is not an ADR, this is a state-by-state governance, different rules in different states around Australia. We've put down in our report the worst case states position, which is actually the Eastern Seaboard. Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria all have the same positioning on this. Queensland are actually ruthless on this rule. They will ping you for this, $180 fines, all right? So what this is about is every letter number on your number plate must be fully visible from 20 metres away at a 45-degree angle in every angle. All right, so you've got nothing basically on the back of the van, fully visible, not an issue. I don't have it on the list here, but it's also important for your subscribers and followers to know that the similar rule applies with taillights as well. All right, so Queensland, they're ruthless on this too. At 180, 45 degrees, if you can't see all your tail lights, stop lights, indicator lights, they'll ping you for that as well. And I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, at the end of the day, for safety, if you're behind someone, you want to be able to see if they're stopping, turning, indicating or whatever. So just be aware of that. A lot of people put dual wheels on the back of a van, put jerry cans and stuff on and impede either the number plate or their tail lights. Just a real free tip there, because in some states it can cost you a lot of money. The next bullet point down here is just purely a safety recommendation from us. There's no law on this. This is to do with the weight of your van and the weight of your car. All right, now your vehicle can legally tow 3.5 tonne. And it's a decently sized vehicle, and you're carrying a van or towing a van behind you, quite modestly sized. We firmly at TT Way believe that the vehicle should be weighing more than what you're towing from a safety point of view. We actually say 90% is what we recommend. The very, very least, we think it should be kilo for kilo, no worse than that. You don't like seeing these light twin cabs towing big 3.5 tonne vans, for instance, you know. You don't have that problem. No. And you're similar with your last setup as well, so that's really good. The next one down under that is another safety tip from us. It's actually something we see very regularly, and it's really an important point, and that is to do with your tow hitch nut underneath your tow hitch. So your DO35 pin or your 50mm ball, there's a 33mm nut that's underneath that obviously affixes that to your receiver. 1 in 3 vans we weigh, that's loose. All right, it used to be 1 in 4, but we've done some more data this year because it's more common. And Morgan said to me, Dad, I reckon it's more than 1 in 4. And we actually went back our last 250 jobs, and it's about 34%. So it's quite high. When you think about, you know, all those vans driving down the road, and 1 in 3 of those have got a loose tow hitch nut receiver, tow hitch nut. It's not good. Another important point is it should be torqued to 440 Newton meters. All right. Now we check it by hand. Now we can move it by hand by say a quarter turn. It's deemed loose, particularly under that van safe program. So it's something we encourage clients to regularly check. If you're ever checking all your wheel nuts and whatnot on your setup, check that as well. If you can move it at all by hand, it's loose. Take it to a tyre place. If you don't have the right equipment, get them to nip it up for you so it's really tight. Next one down is all around your connections, chains, etc., brake safe, breakaway, all that sort of thing. Everything was great on the back of your van. So just remember, it's a really good idea to cross your chains. All right, it's actually no legal requirement here in Queensland to do that, but we firmly believe that it's a really good safe towing practice just to create that cradle effect if anything should go wrong. Important just to note under your towing standard 4771 that we can't have 2 connection points together, so like 2 D-shackles together, for instance. All right, so you've got a hammer lock connected to your D-shackle from memory. Could be wrong there, but that is okay. We just don't want to see 2 D-shackles connected together. Just make sure your breakaway, you've got your brake safe breakaway unit on there. Just make sure that's not connected to any part of your chains. You want it completely separate on your vehicle. All right. You've got your 2 chains there. Technically under 2.5 tonne you only need 1, but you've got 2, which is good. Good safety feature from Bruder. So everything there was perfectly fine. Your next bullet point that we cover off on is tyre loads. All right. So the tyre industry recommend that we don't go over 90% of a tyre's load capacity with actual weight. All right. Now this is usually an issue for singles, single axles that are carrying all the weight of the van on just 2 tyres. All right. Now, if we go back up to the top of the report, all right, we covered off on the fact that your Caravan's got really good load rated tyres on, all right? So they're 122 load rating, which equates to 1,500 kilos.
Yep.
So essentially, those tyres can carry 3 tonne.
Yep. The
Caravan's well under that, so you've got no issues at all. All right, just something to be aware of for your viewers in particular, because we see quite often they get close, particularly on singles, and if you're loading very close to your numbers, you can get very close to that 90%. Have on a Caravan, and that's tyre pressure monitoring sensors. All right, you've got the best of the best, in my opinion, the iCheck TPMS. You brought them over from your last setup. Brilliant bit of kit, and it's something we recommend everyone have. You want to know damn quick, don't you, on a single axle?
Single axle, yeah.
Whether you've got an issue,
Yeah.
and from a dual point of view, you know, if something goes awry, the other 3 wheels are going to carry you, so you want to know that pretty quickly. So brilliant that you've got those. All right, so let's have a look at some tyre pressures, hey? So based on the tyre specs for the Bruder, all right, and the weight that you've got in it today, I reckon you should be around 42 PSI cold.
And should I alter them
when you're towing?
when I'm towing?
Absolutely you should. Correct. Why do you think you should do that?
Because I'm adding 200 extra kilos onto the back of the car.
Correct.
So I think the
And what's
back
the
tyres-
effect of that on the rear axle, do you remember? I'm testing you now.
10%.
Oh, 10%.
1.5.
One and a half.
So
That's
200 on the ball
Yeah.
is another 300 on your rear
That's
axle.
right.
So think of another 300 kilos, 3 people sitting on the back of the axle.
Yeah.
It's going to compress the tyre.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you need to pump it up a little bit more,
Yeah.
so as you've got less contact patch, otherwise you'll overheat it
Yeah.
and you'll scallop the outside of your tyres, all right? My formula works out at around 38 PSI at the front and 42 on the rear of the Troopy when you're not towing.
Yep.
When you are towing,
Okay.
you're going to find the rear will bump up to, I'm suggesting, around 49 PSI.
Okay.
Because you've now got around about 2,100 kilos on the rear axle, all right? So, yeah, I'd be around the 49 mark, 48, 49, somewhere around there, and you'll find it'll come up to 52 or thereabouts.
That's obviously cold.
All
These
these
are
blue
cold.
numbers
Yep.
are all cold pressures,
Yep.
recommended cold pressures. But again, like I said last time, keep an eye on, you've got the TPMS there
Yep.
for a reason.
Yep.
You're looking for that 4 to 5 PSI increase.
Yep.
So if they're around that 4 to 5 PSI, that's where you're wanting to be. There you go, team. What do you reckon?
I reckon that's
Got to be pretty stoked with that.
Pretty happy with that.
Very happy. Thanks, Cam.
Pleasure.
I'm really happy that the tyre pressures are now on this. This wasn't on our last one because we got weighed, what, nearly 3 years ago. Because I
something
think
we
that's
spend a
really
lot of time.
important, and you get different answers from different people all the time. This is really good.
Thank
I like
you.
it.
Yeah, thank you. It's something we spend a lot of time on, and we also, whenever we do variations, you know how we did variations last time, we will do a couple if you've got time today, because I'd be interested to put a couple of things on the van in certain areas.
Yeah.
If you want to put a jerry can on, we'll stick that on the front. I'd like to empty the water, see what that does as well. But our process also, we factor in whatever changes are made, we give you updated pressures for that as well. So as you can imagine, for example, on a dual axle, if it's not balanced well, and then we readjust heights and move things around, it can significantly affect axle weight. So, so we build all that in as well, because it's critical at the end of the day. In fact, how the Caravan tows behind, it can impact your how long the tyres last in your vehicle. I've been there and done it when I travelled. You know, I saw the fact of what happens if you didn't have the right pressures. Those tyres on the rear of the car can scallop out pretty quickly. So, so yeah, no, it's been a good update, I think.
Awesome.
Well, thanks, Cam. That
Pleasure.
was amazing.
Thank you.
Got to be happy with that.
Got to be happy
Thanks,
with
Morgan.
that.
No problem at all.
Thanks, Morgan. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, well done.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
you.
and safe travels.
Thank you.
Heading to Cape, eh?
Yeah.
Exciting times. Exciting times.
So great to have you do away again.
Thank you.
And hopefully people can get something out of it.
Yep, let's hope so.
Getting our setup professionally weighed has been one of the most valuable things we've done since upgrading to the Bruder. It's not just about finding out what your rig weighs, it's about understanding the legalities, identifying potential issues before they become problems, and knowing what options you have moving forward. While we're relieved to know that our setup is legal, the weigh-in showed us that we only have 83 kilograms remaining in the van. And perhaps more importantly, we've got very little capacity at the tow ball front of the van, which is exactly where we hope to mount our jerry can holders before heading to Cape York. Although the results were better than expected, they've also given us a clearer picture of what changes we can make and what compromises we need to consider in the future. Not sure how well this will stick on the wrapped coat, but we'll give it a go.
Give it a go, give it a good old rub in a sec.
Yep. So now we're all legal.
Yes.
If you've never had your setup weighed, we'll definitely recommend it. The peace of mind alone is worthwhile. The numbers aren't what we expected, but that's exactly why getting weighed matters.